Let's bring you this now. The family of Humansdorp Senior Secondary School pupil Liyolo Wakeni says they're devastated by his murder. The 18-year-old was stabbed while at school in the Eastern Cape earlier this week. The case against 2 of the 6 suspects has been postponed by a week for a formal bail application.
It was a shock because Leo was a sweet, humble boy that he never even fought. We never even received news that he fought at school or even in the community. So we were so shocked because ezindaba khasizilindele and umamakhe akakho right kakhulu. Akakho right, and we had to take her to the doctor ngenxa yesimo akuso. Uliyolo was the boy that besinamabhongo ngaye, ingumntana onembeko othobekileyo, besinamabhongo amakhulu ngaye, and so much that ngo-December besizamolusa. So it all changes everything.
The family believes that the suspects should be kept in custody.
As a family, we hope indobana abantwana they don't abanikwa bail, because incident ezinje ayikokuqala esenzeka kubantwana besikolo, especially HSS. Incidents zokuhlatywa kwabantwana ufumaniseka ukuba uyahlatywa umntana but kungabikho nto after all, kuthiwe underage. So we had that fear indobana kuzawuthiwa even aba, because some of them they're underage. So we sinqwenela into yoba ubulungisa benzeke, babanjwe, bafumane ii-consequences zento abayenzileyo so that bangaphindi nanini na bayenze le nto bayenzileyo.
Now, let's discuss this with the National Association of School Governing Bodies. Matakanye is the chairperson of the organization. Mr. Matakanye, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. Let's start first with your reaction to this shocking story.
Afternoon, Polly, and all your listeners. Polly, we want to send our deepest heartfelt condolences to the family, to the school, the school mates, the teachers, the school governing bodies, everybody, and the department as a community as a whole, to say, I think as South African, we have to stand up and say, enough, it is enough. I mean, we can't continue discussing one critical issue that children do not see schools as today as safe places, and parents also do not see schools as safe places as well as community, where else there are adults that are surrounding the school. There are adults that are supposed to be supporting those children. And we have the school governing body that makes laws in that school, ensure that now our children go to school, get education within the parameters of safety. Now, there we are discussing the aftermath, which the child that we expected much from, the young life that we expected much, has been just destroyed or has just been murdered. And we really want to call upon all the South Africans that we must stand up, because how long Polly has been discussing question of school safety, but it is not really manageable. But now we are saying to the school governing bodies, the laws in the school must start working, because these children must not allow to bring anything into the school that is not related to school. Knives, guns, whatever, and then even drugs, non-drugs, data, vibes, but they must not be allowed to bring those things to school. Any child that is found bringing those things that are not needed by school. I think the school governing must act, and act now, seriously, so that they send a very clear message that we will not tolerate that type of thing in schools. Schools is a place for learning and teaching, and it must be a safe environment for all the children.
Let's talk for a moment, Mr. Matakanye, about what is going on in the schooling environment. It's not the first incident where a learner is attacked by either a fellow learner or fellow learners. And almost all the time, the consequences are quite tragic. What is it that is going wrong with the pupils in a schooling environment? What has gone wrong?
You know, children remain children. As long as we don't supervise them, as long as we don't manage these children, and if they get out of hand, then consequence management must be admitted to them. But now, as school governing body, I think we are not sending a very clear message to these children, even to the community, to the parents themselves, because what we're supposed to be doing is that when they do this, I mean, when they are admitted at school, we must give them policies that talks to the code of conduct of learners.
Yeah.
Then we must administrate those code of conduct for learners. Like, for instance, if we search, we find that this child has a weapon of war with him, then immediately this child must be suspended, and within 7 days, this child must be called for hearing, accompanied by his or her parents to that school. And if you find that now this code, it's very serious, like the code, the very same code that I don't think the code will talk to say we have to tolerate children who brings weapons of war into school, and they end up even killing other children. Then we must send a clear message to say this child must be fired, and then call the parents to the school. And we don't negotiate that. That must. So we must seriously, firstly, to send that type of message. They know that now they can't bring weapons of war in schools.
Yeah.
But now it means that now that school, there's a lot of weapons of war in that school. So you can't discuss the aftermath of this situation.
All right. Final question to you, sir. So on the one hand, you are advocating that these learners who have allegedly done this, first and foremost, they must be expelled from school. But they now have an added issue of a criminal charge against them. And if found guilty, they are still young, they are developing. What do you think their future is going to be? How do you think law enforcement should deal with them?
No, there are special schools for that. Once this child is found guilty in court, there is going to be sent to that school because of age. They will be sent to the school, but we shall have sent a clear message to say, if you do this, then you go to that school. Then these people will know why is he going that school, particularly that particular school, because there's a special schools for young people who are not really adhering to the code of conduct in schools. So we have to punish them by it's tantamount to firing him, tantamount to firing her. If he's found guilty in that taking to that, because the truth of that, they consider that question that you have raised, that now these children are still young and they still have got rights to education, but not in that school, not in those schools that's supposed to be, but in a very strict time area, so that we shall have sent the message to himself, to herself, because he's going to miss his friend. You're going to miss a friend and go into that school where they are more stricter than the school that the child is used to.
All right. Matakanye is the chairperson of the National Association of School Governing Bodies. Thank you very much for your time responding or reacting to this gruesome story. 6 learners have been charged with the murder of a fellow learner in the Eastern Cape. We're hoping to have the Education Department in the Eastern Cape to find out what it is that they are doing on their side to tighten security